Good morning. How are you? I'm Diane, and we are live here at Two Girls Treasure in Florence, South Carolina. It is a steamy South Carolina morning, but we've got a superb project to work on today. If you're here, say hello. I'm going to work on this project with our Iron Orchid Designs transfer set, Wind in the Willows. And then we're going to talk about this amazing sale that we have coming up for you on Thursday. Say good morning, grab your coffee, sit back. Let's take a look at this multi-faceted, amazing transfer set. This is, I'm going to push us over to a dual view so I can show you this right up underneath the camera. This is Whispering Willow. Whispering Willow. I always think of the book, and it's just as magical. If you look at the images on the cover, you'll see all the little woodland creatures. Let me show you what some of these look like. Amazing work from the artistry of Lexi Gresner for Iron Orchid Designs. This bunny's so cute. And the beautiful, beautiful bird in flight. Lexi is, if you will remember, the amazing artistry behind one of the most popular Iron Orchid Designs Christmas transfer sets, and has now created one of the most magical woodland transfer sets ever. This is Whispering Willow, and what we're going to do today is we're going to take this mid-century magazine rack. We've already painted it in a custom blend of gentle green, very gentle spring green, and we're going to create a centerpiece for one of our local floral artist, Angela Pecca. Have you ever heard of Consider the Lilies? If you have not, you definitely need to investigate. Angela puts together some of the most amazing floral arrangements, and through a cooperative effort of friends, this will soon grace Consider the Lilies. This will be on her menu of items to use. Michelle, good morning, how are you? So she'll be able to create amazingly beautiful floral centerpieces. I think the intention is to use this one for baby showers, and I think that's perfect. Let's go solo view so that I can give you the best impression of what we're working on here. This is a solid wood piece, and it has already been painted. I went ahead and mixed the colors and finished them out on Saturday. But before we go all the way into this, we want to create a beautiful setup. Now, when you're getting ready to compose your images with your transfer sets, I like to cut out as much of the white space as possible. That way I can see exactly where I can make them fit. I know this precious baby's not going to fit down there, but if I move it just right, I can find the right spot. But in order to do that, I definitely have to cut out a lot of the white space to make sure where this will fit. Now, we do have one of these buttons, but as you can see, I want to leave just enough white space that I can pick it up and put it back down after I take the back piece off. So I want to make sure that this fits just past that button and that her feet are down on the ground, and we can fill with some of the floral arrangements on this side. So let's take a look at some of these florals. Now I want to use this piece on the end, and I want to use this piece on the other side. I don't think I want to overwork one side or the other, so we'll save the bunny for the other side as well. We have 4 sides here, so we definitely have enough to work through this entire piece. Now let me kick back over to the dual view. Don't mean to give you a headache behind it. There we go. Michelle, I'm so glad you're here this morning. Have you been IODing anything? You have tons of materials to work with, and I know you're like most everyone, and you have a regular job that prohibits you from doing crafting full time. Wouldn't it be lovely if we could all just get paid to craft full time? I don't even get to do that. But I know you have some amazing products to work with. I'm going to pull these out sheet by sheet. I want you to see everything that's available in this kit, because there are mushrooms and flora and fauna we can use to fill in. Strawberries, tiny flowers, we'll use some of these as well. And I have a couple of pieces here that I've already cut out. Mushrooms and a little bit of underbrush. And if you are a Beatrix Potter fan at all, this is right up your alley, because who did not love Mrs. Tiggy Winkle? I loved Mrs. Tiggy Winkle. I love saying her name. These are some beautiful pieces of artwork, and if you have not gotten to see any of the projects created with this set, definitely take some time over on the Creative Tribe and take a look at what everyone has been doing, because this set seems like an almost endless fantasy land. Lexi, I swear, girl, you do amazing work. I have taken one of Lexi's courses that she makes available, and if you ever have the time and the notion, I highly recommend one of the courses offered by Lexi Grenzer. Lexi does amazing work, and as you can see, it translates into something that we can all work with, even if we're not watercolor artists. Paula, good morning. Good morning. Let's see. Oh, look at the fox, and I love that the bird has the crown on, but you can put it on the bird or you can put it on something else. Very, very cute transfer set. And we have 2 more pages. I just want you to see how much there is to work with here, because when you spend on a transfer set, one of the most important aspects that I hear frequently is value. Is there enough value in the cost of this set so that you can use it on multiple projects? And I think without a doubt, without any exception, when you purchase your Whispering Willows transfer set, you will get one of the best values you could imagine, because there are almost endless possibilities with this set. So now here we go with one of the most difficult aspects of doing a project with a transfer set. What pieces do we use? Good morning, Judy. Good morning. I know you've worked with the Whispering Willow set, haven't you? It's so amazing. Very, very magical. I'm going to solo view right now, And pardon me while I turn this, and then I'm going to kick you in on the overhead. I want you to be able to see, well, there we go. Where'd we go? There we are. There we are. I want you to be able to see overhead, and you can help me compose the imagery for this beautiful little planter magazine rack turned floral centerpiece. So I cut these out because these are a favorite, and I think we can definitely use these, but they are large. Here's my hand, here's the flower. It's definitely bigger once I cut it out than I anticipated it being. Now I think the little brown, I think this will make a good fill-in piece, so we'll keep hold of that. The mushrooms. I think we have several mushroom options to choose from, and I'm definitely going to use this bunny rabbit. Yes, I'm 5 today playing with this. Our customer was in love with the bird and the way the bird looked like he could land in some of the flowers. She's a bird watcher, has an amazing garden full, so she was definitely interested in that piece. And of course, these remind me of bluebells, but they're white, and they're magic. They're just magic. Lexi Grosner creates the most magical imagery. I think we will definitely need to fill in with some extra florals. I think this is too large. It's beautiful, but I think it's too large, and I'm not sure that we can cut out without, I think, well, we may be able to cut right there and then lay something with it, but I'm not sure, so I'm going to leave this piece alone. The strawberries, definitely too big for our project. This watercolor flower right here should be just right. So let's cut that one. And even if we don't use every piece we choose from the beginning, we can definitely just tape the edges and tuck it away. How do you store your transfer pieces once you've cut them out and you haven't used them? What are your best practices for that? Have you found what works the best? When you find what works best for you, do you share that information? Because on the Creative Tribe, that's where that should be shared. I think I really want this ivy spray. I think we can make this fit well. I like the little red topped mushroom also, so I'm going to cut that. The Creative Tribe is the place where you share your best practices, not just your finished projects, but how did you get to it? And the way we learn best is when we learn from each other. If you find a hack, if you will, something that makes it a little bit easier to do the thing that you want to accomplish, share that information with the entire tribe. That's how we all learn. I'm gonna save this piece too because I love the color in that. Can you see how beautiful that is? The watercolor effect is amazing, but I definitely want this ivy. All right, let's see. Now, we already have a bunny, so we're not going to use it. I think the fox may be too large. And there's a lot of mushroom here. I don't think we need this. So we're going to lay that down. I love this spray. This is such a beautiful floral arrangement. But I think right now we need these berries and these leaves. We need a little bit of underbrush to go near that precious little deer, that little fawn. We need a little bit to fill in so that he's not standing. Now this is the oppositional piece to the spray that I already have cut out. So we definitely don't need that. Look at the hummingbird. Isn't she beautiful? All right, let's see. We can we can create some underbrush with these two pieces right here. And we don't need tons of underbrush, but we do have to figure out which ones would work best on this first side with the deer on it. And if you missed, give me just a minute. If you didn't see what we're working on, give me just a minute to finish cutting out, and I'll share that with you also. All right. It's okay if you cut too many pieces. In my case, I probably better go ahead and cut enough so that once I get started, I have what I need, right? Because we don't have all the time in the world today. We have some things to talk about. We have an amazing sale coming your way on Thursday evening. Here we go. I think I like that piece as well, so we're gonna incorporate that. Now we have a lot of pieces cut out, and it's perfectly okay. Let's lay them out. Let's see what we have. I've got a lot of flora and fauna to go with our fawn. We definitely need some more flowers. I can see that. We're saving our bird for our other side. We're saving our bunny. And I think we can do this. All right, let's get this stick out and let's go dual view. Or at least let's just do solo. Let's do solo so you can see everything. Here we go. All right, now I'm going to turn this camera back around. So bear with me momentarily. There we go. Okay. I've got my little rolling cart and I have this on my little turntable. Let me scoot him right straight in. Now, before I lay him on, I want to make sure that the arrangements I have to go on here fit the scheme of things. Composition is important. It's easy to get started and get excited and put transfers all over your piece. But if you take a few minutes before you get started, you can be all excited too. But if you take a few minutes before you get started and you compose your imagery, when you're done, when you get ready to lay these out, you'll know exactly how everything will look. You'll know if the berries are in the right place. You'll know if the leaves cover where they should, or if the mushroom cap will be just right next to his feet. So you always want to take just an extra minute to compose your imagery so that when you're done, when this is laid out, it's a very cohesive look. Now these are magical. You can keep them magical. You can arrange them any way you like. You can even bring the tree limb down and bring the berries out. I like that. Now that brings me back to my original spray. Let me grab that, because I tucked it away. I think it's on the bottom of my stack. It is. I don't think it will fit, but I think we can add to. And I think with these berries, I don't want to overfill. I think we'll leave these out. I don't want to overfill, because overfilling is not good. We'll tuck these here. The berries can come straight off that branch. This can come down here. And I can draw you out just a little bit so you can see the whole piece. Let's see what that does. Not going to give you the entire image all at one time, but that's what we're working with. We don't want to overfill, but we definitely want to make sure we have enough on each side. So I want the mushroom to be behind his foot. So I'm going to do the mushroom first. Take the back sheet off ever so gently. And without moving him too far, I'm just going to lift him, and I'm going to lay that mushroom in right there. And that's just where we want it to start. And here we go. Whispering Willows, Iron Orchid Designs, transfer set. That came off so simply. Just burnish it a little bit. Perfect. Let's get this baby on here. Here she is, so pretty. It's the time of the year when I am seeing babies like this all over my yard. All right, make sure that ear comes just past that button. Bring the feet down. And there we go. Lay it in, rub it down. On a larger piece, give it just a once-over gentle rub. Applying your transfers with your transfer stick, you've heard me say this before, it should never hurt your fingers or your hands. You should never have to rub so hard that it hurts. If it hurts, stop. Give yourself a rest, because it should never hurt to apply a transfer to your surface. Now, your transfers do need to be kept stored in a temperate environment. If it's too hot, they'll stick to the carrier sheet. Cold is not a bad thing, but cold can also, in prolonged instances, cold can also prevent your transfers from moving as well. So your extremes in temperature can affect your transfers. So as long as you keep them in a temperature-controlled environment, then your transfers should stay good for a long time. I have transfers from the first generation of Iron Orchid Designs, and they stay in a temperature-controlled environment all the time, and they're in good condition to use. Even though they are older manufactured pieces, as long as you keep them in a good, consistent temperature, they're fine. Isn't she beautiful? She's a she. We'll just treat her like a she. Now I see the place for the berries, but I don't know if I can make it work right. They're big. Let's leave them. I want berries in there somehow. I really do. Let's put the florals on. Let's add these in. Little hippity hoppy deer. I'm so glad y'all could join me today. I appreciate it so much. All right. Let's bring this up and over. Here we go. Up and over. Now on the rounded surfaces, and it's just a small stem, I'm just going to rub that off. Give it the once over. Get those air bubbles out from underneath. Give it a chance to adhere to the surface. I'm using Rethunk Junk paint as my base. Rethunk Junk paint does not have a built-in top coat, but it is self-sealing. What that means in broader terms is that Rethunk Junk paint as a water-based acrylic paint has a resin additive. And that resin additive is what gives Rethunk Junk paint superior performance. The adherence, the durability are unmatched. And once you finish painting your coats on, you don't have to seal before you apply your transfers. All you have to do is simply apply them. Once you're finished applying your transfers, then you seal. And we have found that our Tough Top and our Flat Top both work exceedingly well with these transfers. And you will not have any performance issues with Flat Top or Tough Top as long as you don't oversaturate your transfers once you seal them. Oversaturation, well, that just means you've used too much clear coat. And when you use too much clear coat, it saturates your transfer piece and it lifts it and it'll spoil it. It'll cause it to split. It'll cause it to lift and let go. So when you get ready to seal your transfer pieces with your Rethunk Junk, do not oversaturate. It really is better to do more thin coats than to do a couple of really thick coats, heavy coats. You don't want to heavy coat these. They'll come apart. Ask me how I know. I have examples of that right underneath the display of transfers, because I've always told you, if anyone makes the mistake, let it be me. I'll show you how not to do it. And I can show you in store how not to oversaturate using your Tough Top when you're doing your transfer pieces. Look how those berries fit perfectly with this set of leaves. Isn't that pretty? I think that is lovely. I think I still need some flowers in here. So let's get some. Let's get some of those beautiful flowers in here. Let's lay this one in right here. All right. Rub it down, lift your edge, and just let your stick gently do the work. Transfers are not just for us grown-ups. If you have kids around the house this summer, get a kit and let the children do the transfers, because these are really kid-friendly products. And they have so much fun doing them too. Let the children play. Let the children play with these, because they are not just for us grown-ups. Do we want berries here? I really want these berries in here, and I'm just dying to get them in there somewhere. But I don't think they'll fit. There we go. We can drop some beautiful little florals in right here, as if they're coming off the tree. Oh, that's perfect. Just like they belong to that tree. Give it a good once over. We have kits available. Wonderful summertime make and take kits for the kids. You can buy kits and make magnets, pins, journals for the older girls and guys if they like them. I know they don't want to be called boys if they're a little bit older. You can also get kits and make framed art. Everything you need is available in the kit except for the liquid product. Just look for Make and Take on twogirlstreasure.com website. Make and Take, and you can have the kids busy for a little while anyway. Oh, I love it. Absolutely love the magic. I may come back in and hand paint some little features down here, but I don't want to overcompose one side. I have 3 more sides to go, but that deer, he's so sweet, and he's just in the underbrush. Love it. Now, because I've already done this side and I'm getting ready to turn it over, I don't want to damage this side. So I'm going to grab a towel, and when I move this out, I'll lay a towel down over my Lazy Susan. Open it up, and now when I lay this back down, I don't have to worry about damaging the other side because it's on a nice soft surface. All right, now let me lift you up a little more. I lifted this up this morning before I started. Let me lift it just a little bit more. I don't know if I accomplished my goal there, but we're gonna work through it. Now we want our sweet little rabbit. We want our sweet little rabbit, and we definitely want to fill to the side. Our rabbit is probably going to be in a little bit more underbrush. We don't want to cover her face up. So let me trim out. This is how you can tell, how you can work in your composition to ensure that you don't lay a transfer piece over something you did not intend to. Now I'm not gonna trim out the little, there's just a little swirl of a vine. If you grow ivy, you know those things stick up everywhere. That little wisp of a piece is not going to do any damage. There we go. But we don't want the leaves of the ivy to obscure the face of our rabbit. So we're going to trim these out. There we go. And let's see, once we lay that over, we'll have a little bit that lays over the rim edge, and we'll have just a little piece that lays over right there, but that does not obscure our rabbit, and that gives us a little bit of, there we go, that gives us a little bit of space to work in. Let's get some light on this. What do you think? Can you see better now? I probably can. I like this. I like this composition. And this won't cover our rabbit. This piece, this little leaf right here might cover the top of his ears a little bit. We can shift it. We can shift it just a little. I think that's good. I think that's just fine. And then we can fill in with a beautiful flower. And I think I can finally find a place to put my berries in. I'm gonna save these though. I know what I want to do with those. Let's see, should we put another mushroom to balance? I don't want everything crammed over there, so I might move the flower down a little bit. Oh, that's a beautiful composition right there. I like that. What do you think, Miss Judy? Paula, we don't use wax here at Two Girls Treasure. Now, here's the important thing. No matter if you use wax or not, wax is always last. Never use wax and then try to apply a transfer. It will not go over the wax. Miss Judy, good morning, my dear. Always wax last if you're using wax. We do not use waxes here at Two Girls Treasure. What we do use are water-based sealers, and they don't require any waxes. We do have sealers that have translucent color. They're called wash. We have glazes that you can use, and we always use those after we apply any transfers. Once we use the transfer and we have our composition completely laid out, I will use 2 very thin coats of Tough Top or Flat Top to protect these transfer pieces, but I will not use a heavy finish, because a heavy finish will saturate your transfer piece and will not allow it to maintain its adherence. And if you put too much of your sealant on, it'll saturate that very fine, very thin image, and it'll lift it, it'll split it, and it'll break it, and then you won't have it. When you come in, ask me to show you, and I'll be glad to. Now, what do you think? Do we want the bunny behind? I think we want the bunny behind the ivy. A few years ago, well, it's been more than a few now, how time flies, Ariel was a baby, and on my wall of ivy, I saw something moving. You know, I had to investigate, snake or not, I had to stick my hand in, and it was a little baby bunny living in my ivy in my front yard. And of course, Mama got mad because I had to touch the baby, because you know I had to touch the baby. And Mama was there too. And of course, she moved the babies, and they've never lived that close to the house again. that's all right. They still live just in the front yard, just in the edge of the woods. We see them all the time. Yeah, I love those mushrooms, Paula. They're magic mushrooms, and not in a bad way, not in a 1970s bad way. I just think for a whimsical fantasy whispering willows kind of vibe, these mushrooms are perfection. Lexi does not disappoint. Like, she is so good at what she does. And this is what we get when Lexi works with Iron Orchid Designs. I think that is superb. Now let's get to this ivy spray. Now, I'm gonna hold it taut because I don't want to lay it down until I'm sure I have it where I want. Now, in order not to obscure my rabbit, I've got my leaves cut just right. So I'm gonna lay it down right there. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. Now my little bunny looks like the bunny that was living in my front yard. As you come around, be careful not to use your tool harshly. Remember, if you cut it out, you want to make sure to rub just on the top sheet of acetate. You don't want to rub your tool over your bare bunny because it's sharp and it will do damage. We don't want to damage something that laid down so beautifully. I'm going to run my vine across my edge. And I don't know if Dr. Leslie is watching this morning or not. Leslie, if you are, I hope you love the composition. I hope it is exactly what you were thinking of when we looked at it. But these sort of things, you know, from the amount of time you spent working on your midnight garden, on your tea cart, sometimes you can have the best of intentions on laying things out, but until you actually start laying them down, am I shaking the camera? Until you start actually laying them down, you don't get that feel, that woodland vibe of exactly how it's going to look. Now I'm going to scoot this in just a little. I want to show you something. So where I came around the top edge with this piece, I'm going to come around the top edge with this piece. But if you'll notice, as I move it, it's really tight. That's where you come in and you cut relief. You need to allow it to move, and without a relief cut in it, you'll end up tearing your image. So I'm just going to cut down to the base of my magazine cart turned floral container. That gives me the opportunity to move this piece first so that it doesn't tear. It gives it relief. Literally, it relieves the stress on your transfer piece. Now, once I have that laid down, and on a curved surface, it's really simple to lay that in. Once that piece is in, then I can lay this piece over. There's no damage done, no harsh edges. That little relief cut allowed me to move the transfer the way it needed to move naturally so that I didn't do any damage to the image. Let's go ahead and run this whole piece on now. The hard part is done. Again, as you come near the bunny or whatever piece you have cut out, trimmed to fit with your piece of transfer, just go around gently. Don't rub over the image that's already on your surface because you don't want to damage that piece. All right, a little bit more right here. One last piece of ivy. Give it a little extra rub. Because I'm close to the edge, I'm trying to be very ginger. I don't want to damage my bunny. And I did it without damaging my bunny. Look how sweet. Look how sweet. Now I can rub with my finger to get any of the air bubbles. Just burnish with my fingers to get any of the air bubbles out of the pieces that went over the edges. But now my bunny looks like he is just peeking out from behind the ivy vines, and I think that's so beautiful. I like it. Burnish it all on with this, with the shiny side of your acetate. Just gently rub over it. The object is to make sure you have no air bubbles underneath. You don't want air bubbles underneath. Sweet, sweet bunny. Now, maybe that one, maybe this one. No, that's not right. And I do love that flower. I do love that flower. But I think what we could do here, this is a large piece. I think that's too large. Let's look back at the flowers. And let's find something that pops in here just right. I think this will. I think that'll give this side just enough color. We could always do some of the little hanging bells. What do you think? Good morning, Alice. How are you? Alice, we will be shipping to you today. Now that one works too, doesn't it? Oh, I think so. All right, y'all. We have red with blooms that we can lay in right there. Or we have this one wins. This one. This is perfect. All right, let me trim this bottom edge off. And this lays just right in here. What do you think? I'm gonna scoot you down so you can see well. I like this. Not too much, not too little, just the right sizes. So much to choose from in this kit, in this transfer kit. This is Whispering Willow. This is the Iron Orchid Designs transfer set. Watercolor designs by Lexi Grenzer, and available to you at Two Girls Treasure in Florence, South Carolina, or online anytime at twogirlstreasure.com. Wonderful. I will get that out to you today. Thank you for your patience. I'm loving how this lays out. And as I finish this piece on this side, let me tell you a little bit about Thursday. This will be a one-time only opportunity. We are bound by certain terms with Iron Orchid Designs to maintain integrity in our pricing. And this one time, Iron Orchid Designs has given us to offer you amazing discounts. Now, you may have seen some of those discounts available already on some other websites, and I'm not mad about it, but I thought Thursday, July 7th is the last day we can make those discounts available to you. And since Thursday evening is our evening to bring you our live sale, then we were going to take those discounts and our inventory and we're going to bring it to you on Thursday evening, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Now, these discounted items are available on this live sale. They will be available through midnight Thursday night. We will do the sale live from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern time. And that's it. Once we finish the sale, once we hit 11:59 p.m., all of those discounts go away. It is a one-time offer, and it is available through our live sale format only. We are not going to price these products in store. We will price these products during our live sale only. They will be available from 6 p.m. Thursday evening until 11:59 p.m. Thursday night. When you follow us on Facebook during our live sale, it's very, very simple to utilize the tools. We are using a new live selling format. It's so much easier for you because all you have to do when I show you a product you're interested in is type in cart and the number of the item you want. That's it. Once you do that, a messenger will pop up and you'll follow the prompts to check out. Now, we had a glitch last Thursday evening. We found our way around it, right, Alice? We'll still get you the products that you wanted, even if you're not local. We made sure that we got everything worked out. The big tech geniuses found the glitch, fixed it, and we should have no issues this Thursday night. Don't worry. We have enough staff on hand during our live sales that we will ensure you get the products that you were interested in if, in fact, we hit a glitch. This is one of the reasons why we are using this new format. We've been testing it to make sure we don't have any problems. So don't worry if we run into an issue. We're learning how to use the format. The format is learning what bugs to work out. You get fabulous ease of shopping from home, wherever that might be. Click, click, and buy. Our live sale will be Thursday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Time. All of our in-stock Iron Orchid Design products will be on sale. We will have to run through them rather quickly, but we'll get it done. Michelle, thank you. I appreciate it. I think this is going to be an absolutely beautiful floral centerpiece. I'm excited. Oh, I love the way that looks. This is Whispering Willows Iron Orchid Design Transfer Set. I don't think that one could have come out any better. I might need some little baubles right across here, but maybe not. I have both ends to finish, and then we'll call it a good day. I am so appreciative of you watching today. I thank you so very much for being here. Two Girls Treasure is open to the public from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday. We have some exciting news coming up probably by Labor Day. Pray for us, keep your fingers crossed, send good vibes, whatever it takes to make it work, and we will see what we can do about being available to you more often. By the way, in case you didn't recognize it, this is my tie-dyed shirt from our project with Rethunk Junk Paint as tie-dye. I love it. Get your products online at twogirlstreasure.com or come in and see us anytime Tuesday through Saturday from 10 a.m. till 6 p.m. Get your inspiration right here on Coffee and Create every Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Y'all, I thank you so much for being here this morning. I'll make sure to post pictures when I'm finished with this later. Go grab yourselves a cup of coffee and create something absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for being here. Y'all have a great day.